Hey, what's up, guys? Yokobom here, and I'm back with another episode of the Baltimore Orioles Out of the Park Baseball 19 franchise. And today we are here in the beginning of June, and today we've got the first player draft. So let's go ahead and jump right into it in this episode. As you can see, we're going to be picking 6th in the draft. I believe we do not have any supplemental picks. Yeah, we do not. But that is fine, nonetheless. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it right here. Gonna sim to our next pick. Make sure we have all players enabled. Okay. Just see what our scouting director says. He says Gunnar Henderson is the way to go. It's like the OSA ratings don't like him nearly as much as our head scout, but our head scout is very good. It looks like here he's a very good, or not a very good, a good defensive infielder. Can play second, third, and shortstop, which is very promising since we'd be able to develop him into pretty much any one of those positions. Hitting ratings look very good, but let's keep it going here. This guy looks like he could be a decent hitter as well, although I think I like the other guy better. Another good infielder right there. This catcher's not anything. Pitching, I like the look of this guy. Looks like he's gonna develop into a good 3-pitch pitcher. This guy's impossible to sign, so we will not be looking at him. I'm really tempted to go after one of these pitchers here, especially because the OSA ratings don't really like this Henderson guy. So I think we're gonna hope that he falls to the next round, which I think he very well could. So with him possibly falling to the next round, I like the prospect of drafting Charles. All his movement's not fantastic. Jefferson. Honestly, Jefferson here looks like he would be the better guy to go after. So I think, and yeah, we're gonna go after Jefferson here, and we're gonna hope that Henderson falls to us next round. Oh, Henderson does not fall to us next round. Oh wait, it says here that he's okay. Well, he did fall in the next round. All right, so we're gonna scoop him up. No questions asked. And here, we got that catcher I don't really like. Another catcher. His hitting ratings aren't bad. Decent defensive catcher. Looks like he's gonna hit some home runs in his career. Thompson, he's a starter. Lacking control and stuff though. Like to see where that will go back in here. Logan Britt, corner outfielder, decent power ratings, not great gap power, good discipline. Elliott looks like a decent guy there. None of these guys are really anything that special, although Chandler Freeman looks like he could be possible get right here. Decent get. Cody Freeman, excuse me. Not going to develop into anything at the plate. I think Matthew Thompson's the way to go here. Yeah, we're gonna It's gonna be really hard for us to sign though. Let's see what our scouting director says. Yeah, they say Freeman. I think that's the way to go, honestly. Yeah, no, we're gonna be able to sign him, so we'll go for that. Logan Britt is the next guy, and yeah, we'll do him based on what I looked at before. He's definitely the next best guy that we can get here. We'll take a look at where scouting director thinks again. This guy looks like he could be an interesting little later round guy here. Even though it's really not a later round, but in this game, with the amount of good players they have available, this is a decent guy right here. Although I can't seem to. We'll draft him anyway here. Stowe's looking like the next guy here. Wow, okay. I do not understand this little deal right here. It's that guy, his ratings are awful. That was a little weird. Little power hitting first baseman right there. Another guy, but we don't really want to pay him. Yeah, we don't have that much budget room in the draft. We'll go with, what was this, Cale Davis, yeah. I think this is going to be the last guy that we draft in here. Yeah, there's not really anybody available left that piques my interest, so we're going to go ahead and let the scouting director finish the draft, or the assistant GM who I think finishes the draft in this game. At least I'm pretty sure it's the assistant GM. Here we've got a personal message, just telling us that the first year player draft is ended, so we're gonna go ahead and look to negotiate with some of these guys. Limoncelli is the only guy left that we have to negotiate with. We'll see what he's looking for. Yeah, he's looking for above almost $4 million here, $3.8 million. So yeah, we're gonna let him walk. We don't really have that much budget left in the draft. We probably could get him if we really wanted to, but we'll let him walk. Let him go to school. So here, just a little update of how we're doing. We're 28-26. We started out pretty decently on the season. If we go back to, yeah, we had a good April. We won most series that we played in. I think we actually won pretty much every series except we got swept by the Yankees, and we lost the series to Texas and Detroit. But other than that, we did pretty well in April. May was more of a, we played more closer to 500 in that month. Now, of course, here we're barely getting June started, so our success is pretty much whatever. You know, I wasn't really expecting us to play that well. In all honesty, I don't believe we have any injuries right now, if I remember correctly, other than Hunter Harvey in the minors, which sucks because I was definitely considering giving him some more playing time. We're just going to go and simulate to the next week here. Just some of the leaders. Brantley almost hitting 400. Rendon 377. Stanton is well ahead of the field in home runs. He's got 29 already, and we're just the beginning of June. Yikes. He's worth almost 4 wins this year. Caterini has an 18-game hitting streak, apparently, so that's a fun thing to keep an eye on, I suppose. Looking at OPS, yeah, Stan's over 1.1. So are Seager and Rendon. So a couple of guys having really good seasons there. Just looking at the standings here, yeah, we're 500 right now after the other week. We actually fall below 500. I want to take a look at the pitching here to see how awful it's continued to be. Like Gosman is our only starter with a FIP under 5. Araujo is our only pitcher with a FIP under 4. So that bullpen that I hoped would be pretty decent hasn't turned out to be. So maybe we won't be able to flip guys like I thought we would. Keep going to the next week here. Another look at the leaders. D. Gordon, running away with stolen bases. Rendon, Stanton, and Lindor all over 4 in WAR, so that's pretty interesting. Caterini still has that hit streak going, although it didn't update from last year. Oh, maybe these hit streaks probably aren't active. He probably already ended that hit streak of his. The Boston running away at the division just kind of like they are in real life, although they're not nearly as good as the Dodgers, Cubs. Looks like there's a lot of good teams kind of running away with it this year. Okay, and that's showing pitching stats, so we're gonna make that not be like that. And Duhar's really been playing a lot better. That's good to see. I don't really think anybody is struggling too heavily right here, except Almora. He's performed really rough for us. Even since we traded for him last year, he has not been good whatsoever. They got that OBP of 275. I mean, he's better than last year for what it's worth, I guess, but that's honestly not saying very much. See, it's starting Diaz here instead of Zhao at short. His hitting ratings are much better, but I mean, Diaz can't really play a backup infield position because he doesn't really have defensive ratings in those. DJ Stewart, he's been good for us this year, which is good. Looks like he filled out to his potential, which is very nice to see. Look at those hitting ratings. That's what I like to see. Mancini, he's bounced back from that bad year he had last year, slugging back over 500. We actually have a lot of guys OPS plus over league average, and the guys who are above league average are pretty far above league average, which is good. Mike Ford having a good year. This is pretty promising right here. Although a lot of these guys, BABIP, actually not that bad. Calhoun's BABIP isn't that good with us, so maybe he'll perform even a little better. But Caterini and Mancini, they may come down a bit. Austin Hayes, he'll most likely crash down the earth within the next few days or weeks or whatever. But yeah, he's most likely gonna come down a little bit, which, I mean, he's been performing really well anyway this season, the limited at bats he's gotten, so it's whatever. Our offense has been much better than expected. Caleb Joseph has been struggling like a lot. Well, Hunter Harvey's back. That's good. Mountcastle is up to 2 stars. If an injury happens in the infield, he'd probably be the next guy that we look to bring up. Mullins, he's been good in AAA. Santander, he hasn't been that great. We've kind of had him been sitting in AAA, obviously, since he returned, but we don't really have a roster spot for him. Although he can play a little bit of first base, can he? Yeah, first base, corner, outfield. I I mean, you could always use another bat in the lineup. And Escobar is not really getting any at bats. And he refused to be demoted for some reason, even though he was already playing. He started the year in AAA, but that's whatever. Don't really care too much about losing him. So yeah, we're gonna bring up Santander here. We're just probably long overdue that he came back from that injury, but it's whatever, I suppose. Santander's. We've got him as a defensive replacement now. Is he playing against lefties at all? It looks like he's spelling Stewart and Mancini here against lefties. It's good. He's gonna get some at bats. Probably mostly as a pinch hitter, but Araujo's down for 6 days. Do we wanna? I think we're gonna let Harvey sit in AAA for a little bit longer. We're gonna go with a reliever. Tanner Scott, Zeich. Yeah, we'll go with him. See if he can do anything for us in the majors. Looks like De La Cruz is a little banged up. Check out the waiver wire, see if we can find anything of value. So we're still playing around 500 ball, but obviously I think the way it's looking here, I'm most likely gonna be a seller at the deadline, because not really expecting to do anything, and I definitely don't want to mortgage the future at all with how things have been going. So we take a huge win against the Mets there, 17 runs, which I guess is really what we have to do since our pitching has been so awful. I think we're gonna go until we're done with this series with Seattle, and then we'll take a look at some guys. Escobar really doesn't want to be demoted, so we'll just cut our losses, making league minimum, so it's really whatever. And we're pretty tight with money overall, but that's fine for now. We're gonna get some decent money coming off the books next year, with us most likely not bringing back Calhoun on that option. He might not even finish the year out with us if we deal him at the deadline. Cashner definitely won't be back on that option. The only thing really tying us up right now is Alex Cobb, who's definitely making more money than what he's worth. Take another win right there against Seattle. Another win. I guess we're gonna just go to the international free agent signing, and then Ruby De La Rosa. He could be an interesting get here I forget if he still projects as a starter in this game at all with his Stanwell rating. I know that he definitely doesn't have the stuff to be a consistent major league starter in real life, but maybe he have decent years. Stanwell's still 50. He's got that good slider. Changeup is alright, so yeah. He's definitely still a reliever, but how has he been this year? Looks like he's got a super low BABIP. His time with the Red Sox this season. I don't really know if we have a spot for him, though. I don't want to give out. I mean, pretty much everyone's been so awful, so I mean, I really would probably be okay with letting him go. But all of the guys that we have in the bullpen are so cost controllable anyway. I don't know if it really matters. So I think we're just going to keep rolling with what we have. Yeah. Jaime Garcia probably wouldn't be anything of interest to us, especially because if we're looking for any answer in the rotation, we definitely would rather bring up one of our young guys. Okay, international free agents here. Got a power hitting infielder here. Not very good. Defensive ratings fragile. Power hitting outfielder here. Looks like he could pretty much honestly play anywhere. He's got good range, strong arm. Although it's weird because his speed isn't very high. It's an interesting guy, but looks like he could be a decent power bat, or I mean, a pretty good power bat, honestly. Lara or Lara, however it's supposed to be said. This guy definitely looks like a starter that we want. Ignacio Lara. I think we're gonna put in an offer on this guy. I think $3 million should suffice. Maybe go like this. I'm kind of interested in offering one of these guys at the top here. Although, this guy being fragile, yeah, we can't afford a guy like that. So, yeah, and these guys are demanding a decent amount of money. This guy looks like he could be an interesting bat here, Luis Ramirez. This guy looks like he is very highly touted by his ratings aren't that great, but I mean his defensively he's gonna be a stud up the middle. I guess his bat's just okay, and that's enough. This guy's a reliever. Now are you interested in him? Catcher here, no. This guy. So OSA ratings are good, but I mean, 800K. If we have the money, we could take a flyer on that guy. It wouldn't hurt to bring him in. Santana. Oh yeah, this guy wants big money. Good contact hitter though. Although he may not get on base much because of his discipline rating, I should say. I think Ramirez looks like he could be a decent asset for us at least. So I think, he doesn't have the greatest personality, but I think we're gonna offer him up. We'll offer him up a deal anyway. We'll go like 1.65. See if he's interested in that. Okay, so Araujo, he's eligible to come off the DL. Zyke was pretty awful in a very small sample size, so we'll just send him right back down, no problem. And since it was a minor injury, we're just gonna bring him back up, no rehab assignment necessary. See, we've got a message here. Lara looks like he's interested in a deal Boston is offering him. He wants 3.8, so, and I like the ratings of this guy, so we're gonna cut off negotiations with that other guy because I wanna be able to bring in Lara. Yeah, so we'll just bump this up to 4 or 5. Hopefully he accepts. And today is the draft pick deadline, so, but that doesn't really apply to us because we're not going to be bringing anybody else back. See, our owner, he's happy with our performance this year, with our 500 record up to this point. He wants to see our defense better. He wants us to bring in a Cy Young Award winner, which most likely won't happen unless we can get a very old guy who is not worth anything anymore. Apparently we've increased attendance, and looks like we're on the progress to completing our goal of profit. So things are looking decent so far with our owner. He's looks pretty pleased with our performance so far, which is good, I suppose, because our focus is not really towards winning games. And there you go, right there. Looks like J. Happ, he tore his meniscus, so he's going to be done for the year. So now we're going to be looking up to call up either Hunter Harvey or De La Cruz. Let's see how they've both been pitching in AAA. De La Cruz, of course, was good in 1 star with us this year. His FIP is 3.83, so he's been good in that sense. Well, pretty decent, I suppose. Not a high strikeout rate. BABIP. He has a high BABIP here in AAA, so maybe, I mean, that's probably why luck hasn't been in his favor. Let's see. Harvey has got a pretty low BABIP so far. As for FIP, he has not been nearly as good as De La Cruz this year, but his whip also kind of concerns me. Harvey's whip was over 1.4, I believe, when we were looking at that. I think it's an expanded 2. No. Why can't I find whip? Where's his whip? There. Oh, De La Cruz's whip was also over 4. So I mean, I forgot to check out Harvey's strikeout rate. Definitely want to look at that. He's striking out even less per 9 than De La Cruz. He's definitely a 2-pitch guy at this point. Wait, is he coming out of the bullpen? You know, his current role is projected out of the bullpen. How does he project? Yeah. I honestly think we're going to go and call up De La Cruz here. I don't really love Harvey's ratings that much. It looks to me like I don't think he's going to be an effective starter in the majors with how his ratings look right now. Because he's really only a 2-pitch guy, it looks like. It looks like Hayes is down with a dead arm. We'll give him a little stint on the DL. And we'll give Cedric Mullins a shot because he didn't really get a shot earlier in the year. So we'll go ahead and do that. Although I probably should have called up an infielder because Zhao is really the only other guy that we have in the infield. Although I don't think Mountcastle can play anywhere else but third. He can play a little second, but his infielder ratings aren't that great. McCoy's been bad. King's been okay, I guess, in AAA. You know, we don't really have any replacements. Chance Cisco, he's been bad in AAA this year. You know, we don't really have anybody else anyway, so I guess we'll just roll with Cedric Mullins in the majors here for the meantime. Wow, it seems like the All-Star break is super late this year. That's not going to give me what I want. Wow, yeah, the All-Star game is July 23rd. That's pretty much the latest I've ever seen it. We still have more than a week here, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode right here since the All-Star game is so far away. But next time we're definitely gonna be looking at the trade deadline as we're coming up here, and we're gonna be making some moves. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.